Somehow, we got to talking about sponges. Kitchen sponges. You may not think there's much to say about them, but I'm kind of a stickler when it comes to sponges. We had a dishwasher when I was a kid, but once I was out on my own, I had to wash everything by hand. When I moved here, I tried every sponge in the supermarket, and the dollar store, and the other supermarket. Some fell apart too quickly, others just didn't wash well, but I finally found one that I could be satisfied with. That's the one on the left, the green one. It comes in other colors too, but the one I bought this time happens to be green. So one day, I ran into someone who had not only tried all those same ones, but had discovered another option in a catalog. It was an option I had been unaware of. She was completely convinced that it was the finest sponge in the world, and she was generous enough to give me one to try out. That's the one on the right. From the photo, you can see a few differences even if I don't tell you about them. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Aesthetically, the green is kind of garish, but I don't choose sponges for aesthetics. If I did, the understated blue and gray would win for sure. They're about the same width, but the one on the right is a little longer. Both are rectangular. The one I borrowed has rounded corners, but the green one has 2 rounded corners and 2 square corners. I think the square corners are useful for cleaning narrow grooves, so I prefer this shape. The one I've been using is made of a soft foam that, like most kitchen sponges, tries to imitate the texture of natural aquatic sponges. The other one is a kind of mesh that reminds me of the bags that onions come in. If the inspiration came from the natural world, it wouldn't be from a sponge, but more likely a loofah. The one on the left has 5 holes punched in it. You can't tell from the picture, but they go all the way through. I think the package said that these holes help improve the lather. I don't know if they're the reason, or if it's the foam material itself, but this sponge does produce more bubbles with less detergent. The most obvious difference when you pick them up is the firmness. Both have a soft, spongy side and a harder pot scrubbing side. For the blue and gray one, the blue side is the hard side, and it is really rigid and abrasive. If you were building some kind of DIY woodworking project and ran out of sandpaper, you could probably use this sponge instead. That side would really scratch the heck out of a lot of materials in the kitchen. But even the softer side feels pretty hard, and I worry about it leaving marks on plastic or even glass. Maybe I don't need to, but if you touched it, I think you'd get what I mean. The plus side of that, however, is that the durability is off the charts. Even washing every day, this guy lasted for months. It lasted so long that I lost track of how long it was. Compared to other sponges I've tried, the green one is pretty good in this department, but it can't hold a candle to the blue one. Does that mean it's more cost-effective overall? I'm not sure. As I said, the green one uses detergent more efficiently. Maybe water too, but it's hard to measure that with so many other variables in everyday life. If I could calculate those things, I might be able to say that the sponge on the right is quantifiably superior. It might be. It's an excellent sponge. But as a personal preference, I would still choose the one on the left. It washes effectively and efficiently while treating the dishes gently. Thanks to the person who let me try a sponge I had never seen before. Thanks also to anyone who just listened to me talk about sponges for 5 minutes. I hope the knowledge you gained will enrich your life.